Mr. Davies, seconded by Mr. McGregor, moves for leave to introduce a bill entitled An Act to Amend the Canada Elections Act Voting Age. This motion is deemed adopted. The honourable member for Vancouver Kingsway.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm honoured to stand in this House and introduce a bill that would widen the franchise in this country by extending the privilege of voting to Canadians aged 16 or over, with great thanks to the member from Cowichan, Malahat, Langford. Mr. Speaker, the history of the franchise in this country is one of expansion. At one time, only men could vote, only men with property. Women couldn't vote. First Nations couldn't vote. You used to have to be 21 years of age. Now, studies show, Mr. Speaker, that individuals who begin voting early in our democratic process, who vote in their first election, are more likely to continue voting for the rest of their lives. We know that voter turnout is generally around anywhere between 50 and 65%. So this is an important initiative to get young voters engaged in our process. Young voters often work and pay taxes, yet they have no representation about how those tax dollars are spent. Voter promotion could be organized through our public education system and start off the process of engaged citizens early on in their lives. Examples of countries that do extend suffrage to 16-year-olds include Austria, Brazil, Scotland, Argentina, Ecuador, and I would urge all members of this House to empower young people to get their important voice expressed in this chamber so that their perspective on Canadian life can be fully expressed in our democratic process.
Mr. Davies, seconded by Mr. McGregor, moves that the bill now be read a first time and be printed. This motion is deemed adopted.
First reading of this bill. Première lecture de ce projet de loi.
When shall the bill be read a second time? At the next sitting of the House.